Here's the easy way to start your Etsy store and start making sales like this today. So after the last month, I've been selling on Etsy and I realized that it's actually the second best website for selling. Now the first is obviously making your own website and selling stuff because it makes the buyer feel more secure. But Etsy is actually the second easiest way to sell your own items. Now a lot of people sell custom items on Etsy. A lot of people sell drop shipping items on Etsy. And a lot of people just sell their used items on Etsy or brand new items on Etsy. Now the first one is what does best, custom items. Because when you're looking on Etsy, you'll see a lot of custom items and people will want to buy it more since it is original and it's different. Now today I'm going to show you how you could sell your own custom items, drop shipping items, and or used items. Now when starting your Etsy account, you want to have these pros and cons in your mind. So let's go over 6 pros and then 6 cons. So here are the 6 pros of having an Etsy account. First of all, it's kind of like having your own website, but like on a lower scale. You don't have full control, but you're still selling your own custom products and it makes it super easy on Etsy. Now that kind of leads into my second pro, which is Etsy is super easy to set up and sell on. You can literally start right now today in like 20 minutes. That's all it's gonna take. Now the third thing is that your listings are very customizable. You can have very custom items on Etsy. Now it's pretty complicated to do this on eBay or on Shopify and kind of set up a customizable like area, but Etsy makes that super simple. Now Etsy makes it super easy to sell print on demand items as well because a lot of people are doing that on Etsy, but once you start making your own products, then you'll notice that they promote you more. So that kind of leads us to my fourth thing. There is so many people on Etsy. Your items are going to be advertised to millions of people. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Etsy is literally in the top ranks of websites to sell your own items on. And that's why Etsy is so well known and you kind of just see Etsy everywhere. Now last thing is that Etsy is super trustworthy. So you could trust them with your banking information and you could trust that you're gonna get your payments. Also when you sell something, Etsy will have your payment released within days. Imagine selling something, you don't have enough money for the product, Etsy releases your money and then after you fulfill the product. So you could start an Etsy store with $0. Now the first con is actually all the competition. So like I said, there is a lot of buyers and people trying to look for items on Etsy, but this only means that the sellers are gonna increase on Etsy. These days there's almost high competition in every single genre. So clothing is gonna be hard to sell, jewelry is gonna be hard to sell, any custom clothes is gonna be hard to sell. So on Etsy you have to go very, very niche. Let's say you sell custom pots for flowers. That's pretty niche, but you can go even more niche. And that's what will convert you and get you more sales. The second con is that Etsy just wants you to advertise. They want you to pay for advertisements so your listing is higher up on Etsy. Now, this is kind of a problem because then your listings won't be seen as much organically, but there is still a very high % chance that your listings will be seen organically. Now, the third thing is fees. They do add up. Although it may seem like a little fee that they have, it is gonna add up. The fee on Etsy is around 7% of your sale. And this isn't including product costs. This isn't including shipping. So after a long time, you'll notice these fees are kind of hurting, especially if you're selling high ticketed items. Let's say you sell an item that costs $1,000. 7% is literally $70. That is a big chunk of your profit. Now the fourth thing is that a lot of people do dropship on Etsy, so a lot of people won't actually know if your item is handmade or not. This will make them be hesitant about buying from you just because Etsy is kind of going downhill in trust for buyers. Etsy doesn't really have a way to confirm if you're hand making the items, so they can't really do anything about it. If they had some cool verification thing that you could do, that would actually be really helpful, but so far they don't. Now the next thing is that prices are getting super low. People are finding ways to get items for super cheap, and that might not be the case for you. This can lead to you getting way less sales or even none. Now here's the last thing. You don't really have a lot of control on what you can list on Etsy. This is because they do have strict rules, obviously. You can't just list very weird things on Etsy. It will get taken down. But this does make sense since you are selling on a different website. And this is the same as selling on eBay or selling on any website online. So it's kind of expected when selling online. Now let's go over my account and why you can trust me. Over the last couple of months, I have started an Etsy account. What I do is sell custom jewelry, but I also sell clothing, just in case I get some followers. Now over the last couple of months, I have been building my profit and I've been making pretty good money, especially since I'm only 17 years old. Shh, don't tell the Etsy managers. Now also keep in mind that I did spend like nothing on advertisement, and the only price I had was kind of product cost. I also had to pay for shipping, which was kind of difficult if you do get a lot of sales, but since I'm just starting up, I don't get a lot of sales. Now my first month I did $103.89 or something, but let's just not count the change and let's say $104. Now $104 is pretty good, especially since I made that and that was all profit. Now it may not seem like a lot, but saying that I didn't do much work, that is not bad. And just knowing that you can build your Etsy account to at least $10,000 a month profit from what I'm doing is just crazy to me. I keep building my account and I've reached the 10K revenue mark. That is pretty insane, especially saying I didn't spend anything on ads, and now you can imagine how stunned I am. I didn't really have a lot of experience, and I'm like you, so that's why it's great that you're watching this video. Starting from nothing, and you're gonna watch this video, create your Etsy account, and get your product running. Alright guys, so let's get into building your Etsy account now so that you can grow your account to 6 figures. I haven't reached that mark yet, but maybe you can. So first things first, you're gonna wanna use the link down below, and it's just gonna bring you to registering your account. Use whatever email works best for you, but I'm just gonna be using a random email so I can kind of show you how to set up your account. Now I'm gonna use continue with Google because I kind of noticed that's easy for me, and also I always use Google to sign up for like almost everything. Alright guys, after you create your account, you're gonna want to press over here and press sell on Etsy. So when you're here, you just want to skip these questions. It literally does not matter. It's just kind of just Etsy saying, do you need help selling since this is your first time? But that's the whole reason you're watching this video. So for shop language, you're gonna want to do your main language, which is mostly English for all of us. Now for your shop name, you're gonna kind of want something catchy so that if the buyer wants to come back and buy something from you, they could kind of remember your name. Now the name I use mostly is Trending Cheap. It kind of just has a ring to it, you know, Trending Cheap. But it's super easy to make a name. You kind of want something that rhymes and also kind of has to do with what you're selling. If you're selling clothes, then you can use Ghost Clothes. Like that kind of sounds catchy. So I'm gonna actually do that. Now it doesn't really have to make sense. It is also a random username, Ghost Clothes. But like I feel like that's very catchy. Oh, where'd you buy that shirt? I bought it on Etsy at Ghost Clothes. That's pretty catchy. Now for your tax purposes, you're just gonna wanna fill this all out and put individual, but if you do have a business and you would prefer doing taxes through your business so that it's more simple for you. If you're under 18 like me, then you're most likely gonna have to use a parent, friend, somebody that's above 18 and has a social security number in the US. But as you guys saw, you don't have to be from the US to sell on Etsy, which is actually why it's really cool. Getting paid, you're gonna wanna put where you live, so I'm putting US, and then you're gonna connect your bank. You might have this glitch where it says that your information is wrong. You're just gonna wanna re-enter it, so double check everything is accurate. So now you're gonna wanna confirm your bank, and I'm just gonna put in my information really quick, and they make it super simple as well. Just wanna say that you consent to sharing your data with Etsy. Now what they're gonna do is kind of just send you money, and maybe send your tax man how much you made. So guys, now you're gonna wanna set up billing. Now this is because Etsy does have little fees when you list like 20 cents or something. This is also just in case you wanna run ads on your products, which I kind of would recommend if you're not getting that many sales. And then after you rank, you could obviously stop running your ads. After you set up the billing, Etsy's gonna try and give you more security on your account. I would recommend this, and I would just do your number. It's probably the most simple way. And then after, it's gonna give you a couple of codes that you can use. Now the last thing to do is add your item. So this is the most important part. First press add listing, obviously. Now think of the item you wanna sell. Now if you sell an item that kind of has to do with the season that is coming up, so let's say Christmas, and that'll do very, very well. So a lot of people wanna give presents, and kind of what I've thought is custom jewelry. This would be a great present, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna be thinking this, and also they're just gonna want to do this. So what I'm gonna do is just copy a couple of images from online, and I'm just gonna paste them here. So for this example, I'm just gonna have 2 images. I would recommend having more. And then for the primary picture, you kind of want to stand out. So if the necklace is on somebody, and if I zoom in like so, then it's just kind of way more different than any other listing photo. And then you could also just have the item as the listing primary photo. It does not matter, but they also just show you all these examples of what you can do. Now the second thing is adding a video for your product. Now this is pretty easy, and And what you want to do is kind of edit a video from clips online, or just record your own video of your product. Especially if it's custom made, this will be much easier for you to record your own video and just kind of edit it together. Add a little jazz music. Next thing you want to do is choose a title. As you can see, you can use 140 characters. That is enough to give you a bunch of keywords so that you can rank way higher than all these sellers who are selling more than you already. Now, how you can get an idea is go to Amazon and look at a listing that is the exact same as yours. So after you go to the Amazon listing, you kind of just look at their name. As you can see, they're doing very well on here. So you can kind of just copy their title and get inspiration from it. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it for this example, but I would recommend having your own custom title that relates with your product. Who is it made by? I would just put I did, because this makes it much more simpler. But if it is from a different brand, then you could say that it's from a different brand. I just feel like this makes it way more kind of hard, and also kind of decreases the value by a lot. Now put made to order because it isn't a used product unless you are selling a used product. Now category, and then I'm just gonna put pendants. Now for material, it's optional, but I would try to make your listing as specific as possible. Now also, as you can see over here, it says shoppers will find the item in these categories. Let's say I go into detail much more. I put custom necklace. I put custom necklace. And now it's obviously going to be showing a different word, name necklaces, and that's kind of just going to show you a better example of what people will be searching up and seeing your item for. So over here, you're just going to want to fill this all in. I'm assuming you have a primary color, and let's just say that it's beige. Now for the material, chain will most likely be silver if it's pretty good quality. So stainless steel, I'll just put stainless steel. Now the important part is down here, and it is your description. This is how you're gonna rank. This is how you get your sales. Besides your thumbnail and your title, this is the second most important thing. You're gonna wanna jam as many words into there, and as I said, you could just go to an Amazon listing and kind of copy and paste the description. Then make sure that you edit it, because we don't copy over here. So after you edit it a little bit, then that's perfect, and you can make it as long as you want and kind of make it more personal so that they'll buy it. Now tags are the most important thing, and this is kind of where you're gonna get your reviews from. So I'll put necklace, and now you're on Google Trends. You could search up what you're selling. So I could put initial. Now this kind of will show me how much this is searched for, and then Etsy will kind of just push my product out there much more, since as I said, they're already a pretty popular brand. Now Google Trends isn't really working right now. I'm not sure why. You just search up necklace, and I'll show you how it's ranking and how it's doing. I'll show you an example on the screen of what that looks like, and you can use this to your advantage for your tags, for your title, and for your description. You can even use this to your advantage for finding a product that you want to sell. And then for quantity, just put as much as you want. So I could literally put 500, since we do not want to sell out. If we do get a lot of sales during nighttime or something, we don't want to sell out, and that's the thing. And then for price, it says 50,000 is the max. So as you can see, you could sell really cool custom items from up to $50,000 worth. But for a necklace, I'd assume that it's around $30. Turn on personalization if there is. And then now shipping. Now you may think that this part doesn't matter, but it actually does. So origin, you're just gonna wanna put your origin. Processing time, just put 1 business day. And then for worldwide, I kind of like just having it in the US, but you can have it internationally. It does not matter. Etsy will help you with shipping it out. So this is the important part. Free shipping. Put free domestic shipping, but not international. Now the thing is that you could ship around the US for free. Since you will be listing a bunch of items so that you can get more sales, just save as shipping profile and then put the name default so that you know that you're always going to be using shipping profile. Now we just press open your shop, and it's easy as that. So on the dashboard, you'll see all your views and your revenue. So down here in marketing is where you can get your paid ads for your listings if you aren't getting any views, but make sure you add tags, and that should just give you views already. And then for listings, make sure that you are listing as many as you can. Now you do want to be a star seller because this will rank you higher. Now here's a pretty important part that I feel like a lot of new sellers kind of don't really notice. If you press here on your profile and then you go to your profile, then you want to change your profile picture, you want to change your name, you want to put your gender, and you want to put all this stuff. Now about, put kind of like a sad, happy story. So that's basically it, and that's how you sign up for Etsy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys can get to 5-6 figures on Etsy. And let me know down in the comments if you have any questions.